to my podcast, Rob. When you first wrote to me about handball, or what's it called, handball or wallball?
Handball, wallball.
Wallball.
It's the same sort of thing.
Yeah, like I said, I thought you was messing around, because to be honest with you, I've never heard of handball going on around here. I didn't even know it was a sport or anything, so do you want to tell us more about handball?
Yeah, so it was once our national sport.
Yeah.
So a few hundred years ago, Welsh wallball, Welsh handball, Pello, as it's pronounced in Welsh,
Yeah.
was once Wales's first national sport.
Wow.
So before we had rugby come in
Yeah.
and football, this was this game was played in against a wall,
Yeah.
and it's a sport where players hit a ball against a wall
Yeah.
using their hands or feet. I'm only joking. It's on hands. Yeah, so it's using their hands.
Yeah.
Right, and it's very simple and accessible,
Yeah.
and it's a game that's popular around the world. You hit the ball against the wall.
Yeah.
You make the ball bounce off the wall and land in a designated area,
Yeah.
and you score points by making the other player miss the ball. Or you can get a kill shot where it's impossible to hit the ball back because it rolls off the wall.
So it's like squash.
It's similar to squash, but you use your hands.
Yeah. Obviously, you put a glove on.
You haven't got to use gloves.
Is it?
I think, if you think about it, this game was... so I'll tell you about the history in Nelson, how the court came about.
Yeah.
The game was in Nelson was originally... Well, I've heard a few stories now,
Yeah.
right? Which there's a local historian and an ex-world champion who played handball for Nelson.
Yeah.
And Wales. He was one of the first players to go and play out in Ireland in 1988, I think. And that's Kev Dix, and he's known as Nev.
Yeah.
So he's got a book out.
Yeah.
It's called the handball sport.
Yeah.
The story of Wales's first national sport. It's on Amazon. It's very detailed. It's the most accurate version I've read. After this podcast, I think he's going to be grilling me.
Yeah.
Because obviously I'm under pressure here.
Yeah.
So, if you look at the court that's there now, obviously it's been there. It'll be 161 years this year.
That's how long it's been there.
It's been there.
In
When
Nelson.
you think of Castle Cork has been there, it was made in it. Was it 1890? I think something like that. So this was built. Officially, there's a book here, the history of court and its players by a H.J. Jones.
Yeah.
And it just says the 1860s. It doesn't give the accurate date, but Kev Dix's book is. It does state I think it was built in April of 1864.
1864.
So and I think the first proper game was played in the September of that year. So
That's crazy, because it's big over here, isn't it?
Oh,
Because
it's at the moment. Wales is. I know. You ask any Welshman who's into sports, what was once our national sport, and they won't be able to give you the answer. This is how much it's declined in Wales over the last 160 years. Obviously, we've had a few wars, and that's where I see it, where a lot of the best players in the valleys, unfortunately, didn't come back from the war, or if they did, it would be marginal, and that's my personal opinion. The game's there's another version in the UK of wallball, and it's called fives. It's Eton fives. It's a similar game, but we'll go back to the Nelson wallball court. So if you look at the court dead on, it's the left hand pillar of that wall is offset. It's not 90 degrees to the back wall.
Right.
And the reason for that is because it was originally on the back wall of the Nelson Inn.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. So the game was played in the Nelson Inn, And if you look at the back wall of the Nelson Inn, it runs at a tangent.
Right.
And there was a landlord called Henry Roberts who owned the Royal Oak Nelson.
Yeah.
And he could see the popularity from the Irish immigrants coming over. And at the time, the Irish immigrants were heavily hated by the Welsh.
Right.
Because they were stealing the jobs and going in at lower paid.
Yeah.
And I think they lived in little wooden shanty huts down Quaker's Yard towards the caravan site there. There was little wooden huts, and that's where they all lived. Because they were so hated, they were taking all the work, but the railway industry was booming. But they didn't build the court, so it was a Welshman that built the court.
Yeah.
Henry Roberts seen the popularity in the Nelson Inn.
Yeah.
Because this is where they all used to frequent, in the Nelson Inn, and they played the game there.
Yeah.
And they were spilling out over the road. It was massive. It was hundreds of people there. So Henry Roberts, he designed to redevelop the Royal Oak, and with the existing stone, he built the wallball court, the handball court, to say now.
The wall, and they still play there now.
We still play there now. We've taken all and what he'd taken all the custom then, down to the Royal Oak, and that's been the main pub for the handball for the since 1864. There's a lot of history in there. If you want to go into the pub, you can see a lot of photos.
Yeah.
There's one big discussion I've had recently with Kev Dix, and there's an 1806 photo, and there must be 1,000 people around this court.
Yeah.
And it was in 1806. That's the photo.
Oh yeah.
So you could see the popularity.
That's in. Is that in Nelson?
That's Nelson's court.
That's mad.
But in the Nelson Inn and the Quakers Inn, there's the exact same photo.
Yeah.
With a boxing ring in the centre.
So they built a boxing ring.
Well, I was under the impression that this boxing ring, obviously this is 1806, so I was put in that boxing ring in a time frame of 1806 because there's no police station in the background.
Right.
And the police station was built in 1908 or 1910.
Yeah.
But if you look at that photo there, to the boxing photo, it's a fake.
Is it?
Somebody have put a boxing ring
on the handball court.
On that handball court, and that fight that ring never happened. And that was a discussion we had.
Yeah.
And every day we're picking up something new about the history of the game in Nelson.
It is interesting. I enjoy hearing about history, especially like different. Like I'm from Mountain Ash.
Yeah. Well, they had a court there.
But they had a court in Mountain Ash.
There was a court.
Was it?
There was a court in Mountain Ash. There was Pengham Grammar School had one.
Yeah.
Cowbridge Grammar School had one. We've got photo evidence. Swansea Grammar School.
Yeah.
Turf Hill. The game was played. Merthyr Grammar School. I've got all these photos. If anybody wants to see them, I've got them. There's courts.
So it was massive, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was played. So basically, if there was an inn in your village, 9 times out of 10, most probably, there was a court on the side of it.
Yeah.
I went over to the Globe over in Aberdeen.
Oh yeah.
There's a court on the back of the Globe Inn. The landlord's been there years. He didn't even know what it was.
Yeah.
So
makes you think that how much is, like you said, forgotten.
Yeah, it's a forgotten sport. When I was a kid, and I'm talking like 15, 16, 17.
Yeah.
That's when I was asked to play handball.
Yeah.
It wasn't called wallball then.
Yeah.
So I was asked to play handball. I was invited by the Welsh Handball Association.
Yeah.
And that was run by Kerry Wilde, Kev Dix. You had Tommy Davis on the committee then, and Howard, the police officer. So all us kids, most of the current team now from the Welsh Wallball Association was heavily influenced into the sport by these people.
Yeah.
And it's like we've carried the baton, and we're doing quite good. You know, it's we've been very successful as a team.
Yeah.
And we're enjoying it. And we're hungry.
Hungry
I feel the game is much more because of Facebook and group chats.
Yeah.
There's this European one wall tour now that we're part of.
Right.
And that's run by UK Wallball in London.
Yeah.
Now they are telling us that it's going to be an Olympic sport.
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
So I think Vegas 2028 is it's aimed for. So we've got our fingers crossed. I think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Imagine somebody from Nelson being in the Olympic team. Listen, it's a fairy tale. Now, obviously, we've been in every newspaper in Wales the last 2 years. And I'll just tell you, so basically, that's the history, basically, of the wallball.
Yeah.
Right? There's so much content on the history.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. There's so much. Like, I got a neighbour opposite give me a pamphlet of Llanfabon Church. And some minister have written in there that they used to play handball on the side of the Llanfabon Church before they built the vestry. Now, that's the only, that's a verbal agreement to me because there's no physical proof.
Yeah.
But it's, you're talking someone who's close to God writing this, so, and that's where they built the vestry. But obviously, the game was played. I think it's been in Wales since the 16th century. I think the monks used to play it in Neath Abbey.
Yeah.
They got evidence of them playing it down there. And down where the Towers Hotel is in Swansea, in Jersey Marine, there used to be this beautiful court. I think it was the best one I've ever seen. Stone, hand built. The brickwork and the stonework in there it had a motto in the centre with the love heart. And we managed, when we went over we were taken over to Ireland in '99 to play in a tournament in Dungarvan in Ireland as kids, with Lee Davis. He's a world champion.
Yeah.
Gary Northam, who's no longer here, fortunately. They took us, Kerry Wild, and they took us to this court. It was unplayable, but it was, to them, you could imagine it, because for me to go there now as an adult and look at it, as a kid, you don't take much notice.
No, I know.
You think, but you're going to Ireland.
Yeah.
So, this court is, unfortunately, it's no longer there, but we have got photos of it, and it's, we're trying to trace the players and the history, and you're constantly looking. You search in Google and wait for something to come up. And
so how long have you been playing since you were 16, is it?
Yeah, so I've been playing since I'd say about 95, 96.
And you travel around the world playing it?
So, no, we've had a break.
Oh, is it?
So we had, I won the under-18s doubles tournament there. Yeah. When I was turning 18, so that would give me a bit of an incentive to, I was playing football and rugby then at the time, so it was great for me because all the older boys were playing it, and you feel like an adult more, so yeah, it's been amazing. It's been a roller coaster a few years. And this is how it started back up, see, right? So I was looking through my phone, right?
Yeah.
So, Kerry Wild, when we were kids, if you wanted balls, see Kerry Wild, and Kerry'd always have a boot full of balls, or Nev, if you've seen him. So I found this WhatsApp message. Let's have a look at Kerry Wild. He's out skiing somewhere in Andorra, most probably. Yeah, someone told me he's the tallest man in the world. Apparently he is the tallest man in Nelson.
How tall is he?
When he stands on his wallet.
Ah.
Right. Yeah, the soles of his shoes are so thin. He could stand on a 10-pence piece and tell you whether his head's or tails. No, I'm only joking. He's been very supportive,
Yeah.
very great. He's guided us.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope I've got this message now. I'm going to show you this as proof, right?
Yeah.
Let's go back. So look at that. So, how did the Welsh Wallball Association start, right? And I tell you why I'm showing you this. I'm peed off of people saying, you brought the game back.
Yeah.
And that's not the case. I hate that. We're a team, and I'll be honest with you, this is the true story, how we started it, right? So if you look at that there, 29th of May, 2022.
Yeah.
What does that say?
Hi, bud. Any handballs about? I left a couple of bobbies. Fruit shop.
There we go. So 29th of May, any handballs about?
Yeah.
7th of June. I've left a couple of in Bobby's fruit shop. So great, I goes down and gets them.
Yeah.
7th of June. Few of us having a game tonight. If you're about, bring some balls. Brilliant. So that's where it started.
Yeah.
Right, so I was down the court, and it was just a matter. I walked into the Royal Oak.
Yeah.
It must have been a bank holiday weekend or something. At the end of bank holiday May.
Yeah.
And my old neighbour, Lee Tiley, lifelong friends. We know each other, we're brothers really.
Yeah.
He stood one end of the bar and I had an handball in my hand. And his eyes, do you know what? I've never seen, it's like a child at Christmas. We had a game out the front. He was playing he had to take his shoes off.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't move. So yeah, we had a game and we decided then to let's get the handball back.
Yeah.
And
What's it look like in an handball? It's not like
it's
I could picture it like a baseball for some reason.
I've got one in my bag. I can go and get it if you want it.
Oh, are they bigger?
No, it's imagine taking the skin off a tennis ball.
All right.
That's an handball.
Ah, so
but it's a lot bouncier. You can't buy the balls in this country.
You can't.
So we've got to buy them in batches of 2. They're a £5 for 2. We was selling them in Mike's shop.
Mm.
We were selling for $2.50 each. We weren't in no money. We just wanted to get the kids and Nelson back playing.
Yeah.
And my dream was to get that photo.
Yeah.
Where there's 1,000 people around the court playing a match.
Yeah.
I had that in my heart. I thought it was going to happen. So yeah, we created it. So I became chairman. Lee became treasurer. Michelle became secretary.
Yeah.
Sarah Cherrett was vice chair, and we had Brent there then as first aider. And at a later date, we brought in Paulie Rogers, who's now got Bobby's Fruit and Veg.
Oh yeah.
Green Streets. So he's well, you've only got to look at Facebook, and he's selling cracking steak now and stuff like that, and
yeah.
And him and Jade and his family, you know, he's working 6 days a week there, and you've got to give it to him. He's a workhorse, absolute workhorse. You know, all the old age pensioners, he'll go out to him.
Yeah.
He won't charge him fuel. He's an honest guy, like so.
Yeah.
And so he came in as a youth coach.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was growing. We had our first tournament. We went over to Belgium. It was first away tournament. We went down to Ath, Ath. And if I can describe it, it's like Bedlonog. Right? And not in a bad way. There was just
a lot of out and sticks.
Yeah, the court where we played, they had an Aldi there. No, it wasn't like Bedlonog really, but you know, it's a different culture.
Yeah.
Great people, and they had this amazing alcohol called Julep.
Oh yeah.
And they don't sell it in this country, and you only got to think of it. And look at this. I got cups here I've stolen.
Yeah.
And pint glasses, Jupiler. We have all different names for it. Like so, yeah. We went over to Belgium. It was a funny story here, right? Because Andrew Meany,
Yeah.
we'd all formed a team and we was all playing, and it was, we had some good players, all the original players as well, you know, from back in the early 90s.
Yeah.
So when Andrew Meany turns up one day, now we all from the Nelson site.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, I've got a ghost in the house, right?
Oh,
I forgot to
crazy,
tell you.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Do you like that? You're a witness to that now, yeah?
A witness, yeah. It's on camera. Lights flickering.
Yeah, I had a neighbour come in the other week and the taps come on full blast. Well, I asked and the taps come on full blast.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It's, I got an idea who it is.
It's an handball player, is he?
No, someone close to me.
Yeah.
But don't tell my mother.
No.
So, Andrew Meany came along.
Yeah.
What a player. I don't think any of us have beaten him.
Is it?
Yeah, no one's beaten him. No. Well, maybe one or two people might have beaten him on an off day, but the guy's he's magic, man.
Yeah.
So, wallball and handball.
Yeah.
We all went down to Belgium. No, Andrew had this Welsh hoodie with the Andrew Meany Belgium tour on the arm.
Oh, yeah.
We've all gone, order us one hand.
Yeah.
So all our tops have come. What's on the arm? Andrew Meany Belgium tour. So we've gone down to Belgium.
Yeah.
Great. The players met Belgium. We didn't realise how big the sport was down there.
Bigger than over here, is it?
Oh, they had flags up, Argentina, Ireland. All these flags, they looked amazing. They had all these different indoor courts.
Yeah.
Lefty Seb, he gave me and Brent, because we were double partners, these green Belgium handball tops.
Oh, yeah.
We felt so special when we had them.
I bet.
So, but we were all under the impression Andrew now is going to go there, he's going to win the World Championship straight away.
Yeah.
Because we didn't realise, we never seen a better player than him.
Yeah.
I think he won one or two games, but there was young girls, 12 years of age. They were hitting the ball twice as hard at that wall I could ever hit it.
Mm-mm.
They were warriors.
Brought up playing this since they were young.
I thought, wow, we got to get this in Wales. So I actually done a little video. I went round everybody, trying to capture everybody. Say, look, I want to come to Nelson.
Yeah.
So and we got that. It's on our Welsh Wallball Association page.
Yeah.
There was girls. You can't even pronounce the names. And, do you know what the funny thing is? Stevie Davis, now he's one of our players. We was travelling to this venue, and if you can imagine, it's all farmland. And there was a mile of potatoes. Right, I'm not lying. This road, a dead straight road.
Yeah.
To our right, there was a mile of potatoes, 30, 40, 50 foot high. And these potatoes were like footballs. Right, and I said, on the way back, we're going to have one of those potatoes.
Yeah.
We're going to paint it gold, and that's going to be our trophy.
Oh, yeah.
So I've got a picture of Stevie now. He climbed up on top of these potatoes. Yeah. He's like a rock star up on top of it. So I thought it was a great photo. Yeah. And like a year later, John Difford was in the Royal Oak, and I said, hey, John, you want to see potatoes in Belgium? You could never get a potato in Wales this big.
No.
And so I showed him the photo, and he said, it's not potato, it's beetroot. Oh, not beetroot, sugar beet.
Oh,
I didn't know what sugar beet was. I don't think anyone in Nelson knows what it is. So I'm glad we didn't bring it back. But these potatoes, I'm not lying to you, they like McCain couldn't, that's what they must have done the photos for McCain. You'd feed a family of 20 off it, like. But we've been to Belgium. We had a home tournament then. So we had our very first tournament. We picked up the Irish had signed up. We were all excited. Oh my God, the Irish are coming! It's gonna be amazing. There was a few came down then. Sahil Shah, and they all came down from London, and we had them on the court.
So
and
they come from everywhere.
This is the photo here. So I'll try and get it in. Are you picking that up, Paul?
Yes, that's it.
Look at that. I've had that made. So this photo here.
Yeah.
Oh wow! It's so two players. So we had Sean Nolan.
Yep.
So Sean Nolan is a Wexford Maverick. He won the Japanese Open last year.
Yeah.
So he came over with John Joe. They came over. It was a bank holiday weekend. Very welcoming people. Oh, amazing. Everybody was, you had these two lads here, Colin Grace and
Yeah.
Terry McElveny. So Terry actually won the singles.
Yeah.
But we got a Welshman in the final of an international tournament. Andrew Meany. Lost marginally, but no, the emotion.
Yeah.
Ah, man. It was his brother Stephen was there, his mother.
Yeah.
It was what a feeling. What a feeling. Wallball is, I've watched rugby, I've watched football's pretty good for fans, but do you know when it's a close game, you feel it, you feel it like nothing.
I'll have to come and watch one.
Come down, you can play.
Watch a wallball.
It's free. What we've created is a free sport in Nelson.
Yeah.
So whether you're on a lunch break for half hour, you can go down there, have your half hour lunch break, get actively fit for free. Parking's free.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost the residents of Nelson and surrounding areas 1p to promote your health and well-being.
No, that's right.
And
I think it's great what you're doing.
Yeah, so
especially trying to get the sport more recognised as well. And if it goes into the Olympics, that'd be a massive achievement, wouldn't it?
Well, it's a strong. I think it's going to go in there.
Yeah.
London thinks it's going to go in there. You can Google it, and it'll tell you that it's going to be in the Olympics. But yeah, these two lads here from Ireland, John Joe and Sean. So Sean's got owns a lot of gyms, Nolan Fitness in Wexford.
Yeah.
John Joe's a County Mayo boy.
Yeah.
We had the I'm not going to say, we had lads Phil McGrath and Paul McGill and they were all great. So we picked them up from Cardiff Airport, dropped them in the Nelson Inn.
Yeah.
So me and Brent picked them up in the cars. I ran up the house, called the wife, come back down. So they've got the guitar off the wall.
Yeah.
Honest, I'll show you the video. You'll have A's on the back of your neck, right? Chrissy Moore, Ride On. What a song. Have you heard it?
No, never.
I tell you what, mate, they were all singing it in tandem.
Yeah.
And John Joe's got a mate living down in Astramanach, so he came up.
Yeah.
They were all sat on the table. Honest, the restaurant just stopped because the voices were amazing. It was like they were on a travelling ship into the wilderness.
Yeah.
But they stayed. They were sorting all the kids. They knew all their names. They were coaching them all weekend. The bank holiday Monday, where everybody'd gone home and had finished. Them pair stayed all Monday. Their own families, wives and children, on a bank holiday Monday, stayed in Nelson to look after the Welsh. But it was Sean was supposed to come over in the 95 tournament. And he wasn't picked, so this was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So this was a tournament where the Welsh Handball Association had the Americans. And I'm not racist, but when they first came to Nelson, I thought the Harlem Globetrotters had turned up. Because they were like 7 foot, size 22 feet. And there was one player, Joey. There was a player called Joey. And he was unbelievable. To this day, I'd love to go to America and spend like a month out in Chicago.
Yeah.
Or out in New York, sorry. Just travelling all the courts out there. Because, these two guys, Bank Holiday Monday, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. We took them up to Aberfan.
Yeah. So it's big in America as well, like?
America, it is, well, I'll give you an example. So, New York.
Yeah.
I'd say there's over 2,500 courts in New York alone.
Wow.
2,500 courts in New York alone. So I think what happened, when all the Italians and the Irish went over to America, I think they just flooded the New because you got East Side, West Side, and all that. So yeah, I think was it the film Goodfellas or Casino? Robert De Niro
one of the gangster films, is it?
Yeah, Robert De Niro and Al Pacino were actually playing it on the set.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Google it, it's all on there. Mike Tyson plays it regular.
Suppose, like we said, it's not. You don't need. Like to go and buy rackets and all football stuff. It's just your hand.
Yes.
So keep fit by.
Use your hands. Like tonight, we got training.
Yeah.
There's a court in Trelewis Community Centre, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Come and play. So yeah, because obviously Wales is underwater for most of the year.
Yeah.
You can't play on the outdoor, so we train on the indoor.
Trelewis
Community Centre. I'd love to get courts on that patch of tarmac there.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Trelewis, the Wimpy,
Mm.
having Irish, Americans, play. There was a lad. I've got a mental block here. There was a lad rode a bike in the last tournament from London on the Friday night.
Yeah.
And he rode his bike all the way from London to the Nelson Handball Court to play in a tournament. I can't think of his bloody name.
Wow.
He's going to kill me. I'll come back to you on that. I'll remember it now, right? So yeah, so that was the last tournament. It's growing. It's thriving. So so I know Lee Tiley and Paulie Rogers.
Yeah.
They ended up going out to France in a tournament in south of France, Toulouse. They won gold in the doubles on the Sunday. We was like, what?
It's unreal, yeah. I can't believe I never heard of it.
They won gold.
I didn't even know it was a...
where do I start? Right, so the year later, Jamie Amos and Andrew Meany, they went out to France. And guess what? Lightning struck twice. I can't believe it. Two gold medals. So that's not the highlight of what we've done, though.
Yeah.
It's, we're adults. To win goals as adults, when the game isn't really in Wales, can you imagine what we could do? We're losing in rugby at the moment. It's Ireland's secret weapon.
Yeah.
All across Ireland, there's hundreds of courts. Do you think all these rugby players at youth level in Ireland?
So, I think, at the Olympics, and it'd be good to get more people involved, wouldn't it? Like, whether they want to just keep fit or whether they want to compete.
Well, I personally think every rugby club, how many clubs you got in Wales? You got to be 290, 300 plus. It got to be around there. Can you imagine putting one of these courts in every club, or 10% of these clubs, maybe the cities, Cardiff, Swansea. They once had them. Cowbridge Grammar had it. Swansea Grammar had it. Merthyr is a city to me. Got married there. We got evidence. Just let's get it back. When the rugby clubs are pre-season, it keeps the money in the club all summer.
Yeah,
it'll be full of kids. The parents will be there, and it don't cost the parents like to get sloshed, obviously.
Yeah,
but it keeps the money in the club, and it develops the kids over summer in line with the current training. That's what I'd like to see. But we went on this Euro One World Tour. They have it every year in London.
Yeah.
We took all the kids and we've been doing a lot of fundraising. I started doing this card game with Find the Joker. I don't know whether you've seen it. Making a fool of myself, trying to raise money.
No.
So we really raised over £400 there, like.
Is it?
Yeah, all the people in Nelson, like £2. And people are struggling.
Surprising, isn't it?
People are struggling. But the people that didn't have give.
Yeah.
The people that didn't have give. And it paid dividends because I was playing in the over 40s against Sean Nolan.
Yeah.
And Just to let you know, I beat him once. He didn't shake my hand. But he does love me.
He took it badly, Andy.
He was heartbroken. But I don't know, he might have let me win. Right? It was one of those things. You play me for money, you'll never beat me.
Yeah.
So no, I deserved the win. We won. He just won the Japanese Open, so it meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
But we took the kids to London, and young Kerry John Ivins.
Yeah.
He comes running over. He said, "I just won gold in the youth." I'm like, "You are? I've just won gold." I'm like, "Wow, wow, gold! We got a gold medal." So that was the icing. That was amazing to see the kids winning golds, and it's not just that. We had little Fionn. She won silver.
Yeah.
A few of the lads have all got silvers, and we were improving as a team.
Yeah.
We're changing things. To, obviously, we're flying.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm 44. I'm happy with my game.
Yeah.
I'm not a young 18-year-old. I'd race anyone in Nelson when I was 18, and they wouldn't touch me in a race.
Yeah.
Long distance, like football, I was most probably one of the most skillfulest players ever to play for the Nelson Cavaliers. Didn't have a clue how to play football.
Yeah.
But I was like Ronald. I was like Maradona. They used to call me Rivaldo. Honest, that was my nickname with the boys. Jeff Davis, Gaffer. That was a good times there. But yeah, football. I think I came into football a bit late. I didn't start playing until I was 16. And funny enough, it was a guy called Dean Williams, which is the two meanies uncle.
Oh yeah.
He took me up the Cavaliers, because the Nelson Cavaliers, part of their pre-season training was handball. So the Nelson Cavaliers used to do handball in their training. Sponsorship, wow, oh my God, you want to see the sponsorship we had. I'm going to say it, but we had, so obviously one of the players, Lee Tiley, owns Top Gear Auto Services in Aberfan. Very reputable company. Good reviews on Facebook of recent. You can go and have a free cup of tea off Lee. So they were one of our first sponsors. I think they sponsored the rugby club and the football club in Nelson.
Yeah. Top
Gear Auto Services. Then we had Valiant. So Gareth Howard's one of our other players. Great sponsors. We had Catnick.
So there's loads of support there, isn't there?
Catnick sponsored us. All the people in Nelson came in. Charlie Barnett, they were all giving money to Sarah. Sarah was put in the pot. But we came up with a solution then. Because, it was like, it's 30 quid there off Gwyn, no. So what we do then is, there's money. So what we done, right, everyone's to give the money to Paulie. So Christmas time, Paulie's got, I'm not going to say how much it was, but it's a few quid. And he's like, we need to bank this. This is getting ridiculous. He had to,
Yeah.
So, no, sponsors. So I've got a few tops here. I think this was I used to work for a company called the Gap Group.
Right.
So they're the largest family-run hire company in the UK. Great family. I was with them 10 years. There's a lad there, one of the directors, Wayne Linter. He made that happen. So there's a top there. Look at that. The Gap Group. So they donate 5% of their annual turnover to supporting Macmillan and good causes.
Yeah.
And grassroots sports. So that's the Gap Group there, Hire Solutions. We've had so much support. Wayne Lloyd, if you don't know Wayne Lloyd, you should do, because he will put a smile on your face. He'll either that or give you sleepless nights. Right? I think he's amazing. So he's mid-glam folk track training services.
Right.
So when Lee Tiley went out to represent Wales in Ireland in the World Championships, he had this top made up. And it's all on there out there. It's how much sponsorship do you need? to be happy.
Yeah, exactly.
We just need enough to make it work, really, at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's it.
We went
and
out,
it's doing well, isn't it? It looks like it's...
Yeah, like we've been out to Friesland. So there's players like Jasper, and so we flew into Amsterdam, hired cars, drove up to the north of Holland. There's a good 2-hour drive.
Nice.
And it's a fairy tale up there. It's like a little fishing
village.
I
bet.
Great welcome, and everybody gets on. There's no argument. Well, it is arguments over points, but
yeah,
we shake hands
that's
after
normal, isn't it?
But yeah, it's Valencia was the latest one. So I got a top here.
Yeah.
So this was my first shirt for the wallball. Just to put on record, this logo here, that was designed by Lee's son, Ethan. So he designed that logo.
Yeah.
And it's recognised now around the world. That's what I represent Wales, our logo. But yeah, that's the first shirt. We got Top Gear on the arm.
Oh yeah.
I gave my Valiant one to John Joe.
Oh yeah.
So, and I think there's a newspaper article out in County Mayo, and he's wearing it with his gold medals from one of his recent wins. So yeah, we've had that signed by all the team. We've got Israel on there, Belgium, France. There's so many names on there, and who's that player who keeps beating me? The Ghost, I like to call him. He's got the hardest hand in the game. He's James Doyle. He's. I'd love to get him to Wales. I think he's been. He might have been.
Is he from?
So he's Ireland. I think. He's going to kill me now. I'm going to say. He's from Ireland. Armour. Antrim Armour. Forgive me, James. Forgive me, James.
He'll be shouting at the video.
Yeah, he won't let me get a point on him in the next. So we're off to France in 2 weeks. The 22nd and 23rd.
Yeah.
Off to France. We're off to London.
Off to London.
Yeah, we're off to London in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And all these familiar faces will be back there, and it's going to be. It's just an addiction. It's like a tattoo.
Yeah, I bet.
And
it is interesting, especially the history of it, because especially for someone like me, you've never heard of it, but then come over here, and I spoke to a few people over here, and they're all like, when I mentioned I was talking to you, they were like, oh yeah, it's massive over here, and everyone, especially from Nelson, and
yeah, well, it's like we was on the court in the summer, and we had this old fella rock up, and he had this handball top from the mid-90s. Dude, Cymru, Welsh Water, Adcox, all sponsorship. A gentleman called John Linton, and he pulled up in his little KA with his wife in the car, and he had like a tear in his eye looking at that slot playing, because he was great. He I don't know how old he was. He must have been in his 80s.
Yeah.
But he said, "Do you know what? This has made my bloody day. This have." And his wife was there, and he said, "Look, I used to be part of the handball committee, and I used to organise things back in the day." And he sadly passed away then in the December, and it does get in your head. You do feel for people like that, because of what they've done for the village, and it's like one of our first donations was the Women's Institute. So there's a lady there, and we all goes up to see her, like, and she's there's £50, and they've got this little craft fair that goes on next to the pizza parlour in Nelson.
Oh yeah.
And I think when you go there, you really, really appreciate it, because it takes you back in time to when villages were great.
Yeah.
When you had carnivals and jumble sales.
Yeah.
And it's
that's the era.
You walk into there, and they are still living in the 80s, and that's what I want back in Nelson.
Yeah.
I'd love to see a jazz band going through Nelson in the summer.
That's right. I was brought up on carnivals and because you were the same age as me.
Yeah.
1980.
1980. Yeah.
We always had street parties and carnivals. We'd be dressing up and we'd be on the back of a coal lorry dressed as something. And
do you know what? Right, here we go. Here we go. You've got the man on now.
Yeah.
So, Nelson used to have a carnival.
Yeah.
And I came first prize once. But I didn't know what I was. So I remember there's a newspaper out there, right?
Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah.
My mother's going to kill me.
Yeah.
I can remember I had these dungarees on. I thought, well, that's weird. You know, everybody's wear these dungarees with the buckles on the top.
That's right.
What's this? Why have I got A in my arms and things like that? A ripped shirt. Gravy browning on my face. So I won first prize.
Gravy browning.
As Kunta Kinte.
Oh, never.
Yeah. So, yeah. So I'm sat on the back of, I think it might be Jack Portlock as one of his lorries.
Oh, yeah.
Sat on the back of this thing, having a photo for the newspaper, dressed as Kunta Kinte.
You wouldn't get away with that now.
Oh, no. Can you imagine it now?
I know. Gravy browning as well.
Yeah, the gravy browning.
Gravy browning, bloody.
Welcome to my world.
Dungarees on.
Yeah.
My neighbour where I was brought up, he was the coal man, so obviously the flat pack lorry.
Yeah.
Chuck a couple of sheets over it, doll it up.
Yeah, a bit of, you could win a jar of bloody pickles.
Yeah.
Pilchards I used to win. Or you see Santa in a plastic watch.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Used to love that.
50 pence as well. You know, fast pea shooters were the best though. But yeah, so yeah, no, wallball, handball, it's back in Wales, it's thriving. Here we go. So I stood down as chairman back in December.
Right.
And the reason for it, look at that, everyone's ears are pricking up my bed. So there's a reason for it, and I felt personally as chairman that the rest of the team and committee could do better, and the image would look better for us. And it will be. There's a lot of stuff happening in the future for wallball, for the best of Nelson.
Yeah.
One person I'm going to mention, and I don't think he gets the credit for it. I don't know where he is with me at the moment, so and I got my reasons, because I'm 44. I like moaning. I like moaning and whinging.
Yeah.
I think most people do when they get older. They whinge and moan about things.
Yeah.
So this court we had, the floor was in disrepair, and Sean Morgan, the local councillor, he made it happen. So he was the one who said, yeah, you're having a court, you're having a new court, and he's thing is, I want everything done now. Right, where's our bloody court? And I want an indoor court. Where is it? You know,
Yeah.
It's all planning, and there's people above him. You know, so I had to get frustrated and have a whinge on Facebook and moan, and people like arguing as well with me. So, but we're all friends. You know, I put stuff on the We Love Nelson page, and
we're all guilty.
I've had to apologise. Yeah, I'm not a very good chess player. I don't like sitting on my hands. But yeah, you know, I'm Nelson born and bred. I think that, you know, people like to laugh. I like a laugh. I think, you know, life, like everyone's struggling. I like to make sure, you know, if I see somebody struggling, or you know, I can spot it from a mile away.
Yeah, that's it.
And either they'll tell me to pee off, or they'll say, oh, thanks for that. So I needed that, like.
You can offer the help, can't you?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's fantastic what you're doing, and the future's looking good.
Yeah.
For it, and like I said, just getting more people involved.
Yeah.
Even if it's just to keep fit.
Well,
but the more people do it, it's only the people that can keep it going.
I'm 19 stone 2.
Yeah.
And when I was younger, I could run up any tree.
Yeah.
You look at how many people go to gyms at the moment.
Yeah.
They can't climb a tree. If you can't climb that tree,
that's right.
Don't waste your money in the gyms. Come and play wallball.
Yeah.
because that's proper fitness when you're physically fit.
Yeah.
So one thing I didn't mention is he was on about the balls.
Oh yeah.
So have you ever seen? You've obviously seen Rocky 1 and 2.
Yeah.
No, that ball's still on his boat bouncing.
Yeah.
So that sold in auction a few years back for £32,500.
Wow.
Because that was it's a discontinued ball. It's called a 555 Special, I think.
Oh yeah.
But that's an actual handball.
Handball.
Yeah, he's bouncing.
The one Rocky's bouncing.
He's bounced, and he used it to I think one of the first lines in the Rocky 1 movie, he mentions about he used it to help his stress levels and things like that.
Oh yeah.
So that's one fact. Another fact is L.S. Lowry, a famous painter.
Yeah.
Once there used to be a cafe back in the 60s, opposite the handball court in Nelson, and he sketched the court on an handkerchief, and that sold for over £10,000 recently in auction.
That's crazy.
So there's and you look at the big faces then in Nelson. So you got do you know who Sir Tasker Watkins was?
No.
So Sir Tasker Watkins, he had a VC. So he got awarded in the war for his efforts of gallantry, I think, for saving his team. But I think he was an ex-judge and an ambassador for rugby. For Welsh rugby. So the entrance to the Millennium Stadium, there's actually a statue of him on the way in. But he used to live in the street to the side of the handball court. He lived there, and there's a poem by a Mrs. Downs. Do you want to read it out?
Yeah, go on.
You may know our little village, tucked within the hillside fair. It is quaint and quite old-fashioned, as the game upon the square. You will find it still unaltered, with its ancient cattle fair, and the boys still playing handball in the ball court on the square. But when Britain was in danger, Nelson lads could then compare with the noblest of the nation, boys who played upon the square. Adding lustre to the empire with a VC honorary, won by Major Tasker Watkins, one who played upon the square. Born within this little village, so we claim the honoured share, and we waiting here to greet him in the ball court on the square. Look at that.
Great.
Isn't that amazing or what? Mrs. Downs. Mrs. Downs, sorry, yeah.
Shout out to Mrs. Downs.
Big shout out.
Big shout
West
out.
Side.
What about that? You sent me a video of that speech.
Oh yeah. So this speech, when we went over to Valencia, I like to have a little motivational, inspirational speech, just to get the boys riled up, and make them feel, you were fighting for a dragon for our country.
Yeah.
It's a natural enthusiasm. That's what creates you.
That's it.
That's all you need. So I go and find it now, because it's in my wallet, right? 2 seconds.
Yeah, go on.
Now you mentioned it.
Yes, go on. Go on.
So here we go. This was a poem, or an inspirational speech. It's not my own. But I think it's one of the best motivational speeches I've heard in my lifetime, anyway. And just to let you know, I didn't write this, so it's a very famous man who did. Boyo. Right, so you've got to guess who it is. So here we go. No one and nothing has done it to the extent that you have done it and are doing it before. There have been poets, actors, and politicians and rock and rollers, but no one and nothing unifies us in the way that you do, and makes us feel safe to show our pride and our sorrow, and our grief, and our hopes and dreams, that they live in you. And when you play, you're not just playing for the living, you're playing for the hundreds and thousands of men who came before me and you. There are 2 million people in Wales, and you are playing for 20 to 30 million ghosts. 400 years ago, you might have been young men. This is the line, waiting in a misty ledges on the banks of a valley somewhere, ready to defend, protect your family for your lovers, your brothers, your sisters, your mothers, your aunts, your livestock dwellings. You're ready to pounce. 200 years after that, you might have been young men, crying for their mothers, sharing a cigarette, before climbing out of a trench to the cataclysm, the killing machine of 2 world wars. Years later, you'll be standing at a pithead or a quarry mouth, waiting to retrieve the dead and injured, devastated in an industrial accident brought upon us by decades of neglect of people putting money before community, cash before compassion. 40 years ago, you'll be standing in a court of law anywhere in Wales, waiting for a prison sentence, for taking direct action, for defending your basic right to live and dream, and be educated in your own language. And now you are here, boys. You are all those men and boys. You're at the apex of a Welsh iceberg, and below you is our everything. Is everything we were and are and want to be. Everything. A smile on an old man's face and tears in his eyes before he dies. You represent those. You represent oceans of time. Diolch yn fawr. Thank you much.
Amazing. That's proper inspirational, isn't it? That
Did
proper.
you feel it?
Yes.
See, I like music where you feel it.
Yeah, that's right.
We've had this discussion before, but I carried that with me. I didn't write it, but it means the world to me, and I like to, listen to stuff like that. You shouldn't hide stuff like that.
Yeah, that's right.
So all this memorabilia I've got here, I've got photos up here as well, as you can see.
Yeah.
The team and successes. These don't belong in an house; they belong in a pub.
Yeah.
So I think always somebody can see it and ask questions. So I really thank you for the time, and Paul. And
no, it's been a pleasure, and it's been a learning thing as well, because obviously I knew nothing about it, and when you explained to me, I thought, right, I'm looking forward to this now, going over and learning about it and the history of it. And,
brilliant.
And,
I'm known as a bit of a talker.
No,
I'm known as the man who come from nothing.
Yeah.
I can only apologise if I haven't mentioned certain people, or we just going off the cuff here. There's no paperwork or anything.
No, I said this. No, and I hope it all works out, and I hope now, listening to you, that the future would be great for wallball.
I think it's going to be. I think this. What I would like you to do, if I haven't asked them, is maybe get the current committee on at a later stage, and they can talk about the future.
Yeah.
Because I know there's some big things happening, and you can only do it from the top. You need the council behind you.
Yeah.
You pick up a sports magazine about Wales, and we're not in it, and that riles me. That does.
Yeah, I bet.
Even your local, to be in the Caerphilly Observer.
Yeah.
You've only got to Google Caerphilly Observer Wallball or Wales Online Wallball. You can see what we've done.
Yeah.
To not be in your own paper, that it's so mad, doesn't think.
Yeah.
So that's changed now. We are in our local paper. What I would like is the local councils, the councillors, the county councillors.
Yeah.
Because I don't know the setup of councils. It's the county councillors to come down. I know Brenda Miles came down, and Laura Duffy, she's inspirational. Just come down, just shake our hand, Say, do you know what? You guys are bloody brilliant. Come down, tap on the shoulder, buy us a pint. You know, Bobby Brain. I forgot to mention Bobby. Oh, you nearly missed him. So Bobby, he funded all the kids' tournament.
Right.
Last year, he supplied all the fruit and veg.
Yeah.
He retired in December. But Paulie Rogers has taken over. He's got Green Streets, which I've mentioned. But Bobby, he's an MBE. He's raised hundreds of thousands of pounds for charity. He likes making wreaths.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so if you want a wreath or anything. But yeah, he retired in December. He's an ex-world champ. He's an ex-player.
Yeah.
Lee Davis is an ex-world champion. He's very... he was great to us. All the old boys now. Say old boys, they're all in their mid-50s and 60s. I'm 44.
Who's the youngest player you got on there?
Youngest player? Bloody hell.
Because you need the younger generation now to carry the torch to know when all you lot retire.
You've got me here now, but because I'm gonna say Blake Meany. Blake Meany's in that photo, yeah, and I will promise you one thing: that boy is gonna be a world champion.
Yeah,
That's something. It could be Paulie's little daughter, actually. No, I'm gonna say little Blake Meany. I think he's. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, but the girls there, Sadie, Fionn, and
yeah, it's good that the youngsters are getting involved as well.
Yeah, so it hasn't grown how I wanted it, and that's eaten me alive. I thought Nelson Rugby Club would have gone, you know, and I know why they've done it now. Oh, one thing I'm going to mention about our Wales flag in Belgium. So in Meningate, do you know Meningate? So in World War II, or World War One, sorry.
Yeah.
We sent 55,000. Oh, sorry. There's this big gate, Meningate, and during World War One, the Welsh and Allied soldiers went through that gate, the Battle of the Somme, and 55,000 soldiers never made it back. So they're all still in the fields.
Right.
So fair play, Belgium since World War, every night at 8 p.m. they celebrate. They play the last song. So every night at 8 p.m. since the end of World War One.
Yeah.
So you can look how long that is. Every night at 8 p.m. they play the last. So they have this thing for the missing soldiers in the Welsh and Allied soldiers, and they've got these stones, these quartz stones from Hanson Quarry, Craigerest Quarry in Pontypridd.
Yeah.
And it's like a mini Stonehenge.
Right.
And they're over in Belgium, and they've got this big Welsh dragon on top looking back.
That's great, isn't it?
And I didn't know that till I went. And I think we had a bit of a whinge because they don't put our Welsh flag up, and I think that's why they want to forget the past with war.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Because we've been to Belgium twice. The second time they didn't have our flag, and I think that's what it is. You know, I don't know, because you know it was war. Welsh soldiers were there.
I've been to Belgium as well, but I didn't have a look around. I went to get wine and tobacco. So
everyone did, I think, didn't they?
Straight across to France into Belgium.
Yeah.
And then we were back on a ferry. Like,
but there's this drink they got down there. It's the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
Duplier. I tell you, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't even drink lager. You go there. It's a secret weapon.
Strong.
No, it's a blonde. I think it's a blonde lager.
Yeah.
But it's just, you know, we was drinking that stuff out there, 12-13%. Couldn't see through it. You'd have 3 and we'd be falling over the cobblestones. But it's a beautiful place, beautiful country. The people are beautiful.
Yeah.
Very welcoming. It's just, and we see them, we meet them all on the tour, and it's growing, and yeah.
So obviously you made a lot of friends as well.
I got so many friends around the world now. Acquaintances.
Acquaintances.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a friend, Paul.
Acquaintance.
Yeah. But yeah, all the current team, we all grew up together.
Yeah.
Most of us came from the council estate in Nelson. Jamie Amos, Andrew Meany, Stephen Meany, Lee Tiley, myself, on the back of the rugby club, Nelson Rugby Club. And then you got Stevie Davis, Gareth Howard, Brent Andrews. We all went to the infant school together, right through school. So everyone knows his strengths and weaknesses. We got Matt Chinnery and Rachel, his wife, his girlfriend, sorry. They're from Cardiff. He's in with the church, and they just had a baby, Daniel. Oh, Daniel! Baby Daniel's the youngest player. As long as he can hold the ball and throw it at the wall.
Yeah.
And then we got little Alfie Brain, my favourite player. So yeah, we got little Alfie Brain. I got him, he was nagging me for a set of gloves. Like, we got the gloves and they were the wrong bloody size.
Yeah.
So he must have been devastated. But I'm gonna get him a pair when I go to London. He's having a pair. So yeah, little Alfie Brain. He makes me smile. He's a very special guy. But yeah, it's and obviously we got Lee's girlfriend then, Michelle. Brilliant player, excellent representative for the wallball.
Yeah.
Lee and Michelle, they're gonna drive this now, because it's by me standing down. See, it's a mental thing. It makes you feel you've got to achieve more.
Right.
Because that's how I'd feel.
Yeah.
And I know they will, because they're great people. We all get on. It's a good laugh.
You can see, like, it means a lot to you all.
Yeah.
You know, and
yeah, it's not a sport. It's not a sport. It's an addiction. We have an Andrew Lloyd Memorial Tournament. So he's a sight boy. He passed away, and every year we have this tournament. And his mother comes up and his sisters, and they hand out the trophies then, and it's very emotional. We play all his favourite songs and talk about past,
Oh, that's nice.
When we used to rock the show.
Yeah.
It's and we grow in. It's going forward. It's going forward, but
that's the main thing, innit?
Yeah, I'd like it to explode into Wales. I would. It's
yes.
It's not moving fast enough. So perhaps I got something up my sleeve. I'll keep you guessing.
For the future, yes, for the future.
Yeah. But no, appreciate you having me on.
No, pleasure, honestly, and it's, like I said, it's nice to sit down, talk about something different.
Yeah.
And learn some new things, isn't it?
Yeah, a sport that was once our national sport.
At 44 years old, I've learnt there's a sport called wallball or handball.
Yeah, and
I've learnt a lot. Yeah,
I've got another bloody hour for you if you want it. but yeah. Yeah, we got the indoor court in Trelewis. It's been vital for our training in the winter. Yeah, it's great.
Yes, go along, guys. Show your support. Any shout outs before we go?
Yeah, come down in the summer now, bank holiday. Come and support us.
Yeah.
Show your face before they build an Aldi on it.
That's right.
And the Co-op sponsor us as well. The Co-op have been great. We had a lot. There's so many sponsorships locally. It's been great. It's been great. Everyone's backing us.
That's what you want.
Yeah, Sharon in the Co-op. She said she's going to play for the women's team this year. So we're looking forward to seeing her running around doing a few star jumps. And God bless everyone, and I'll speak to you on the court.
And thanks for coming on, Robert. It's been a pleasure. Pleasure.